So this is probably last week. Right now it is currently March 10th. So last week, beginning of the month, somebody hit me up in my DMs on my not on my personal, but in my brand builders DM, and they were asking for help. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, what's going on, kind of with like you and your brand? And they literally was like breaking everything down to me. I've been running this for years, but I got some personal things going on in my life, and blah 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 blah. So I go take a look at their brand, and I'm looking at everything, and I'm seeing the products that they got, and I'm seeing their website, and then I'm seeing their Instagram page. And I started to realize that this person is like 99% of people. And it's not a bad thing because, like, obviously you get to eat for effort, but at the same time, I'm seeing what the big problem is. And I told him, you know what I mean? This has nothing to do with like your personal issues or anything like that. And basically, he was asking me, though, like, I didn't unpack this, but he was basically asking me, like, man, I've been at this brand for such a long time. I'm not getting no sales with my brand. And what not the sales that I want. Like, I'm only getting like friend and family support, but I'm not getting support from other people. You know what I mean? When it comes to like just making money online and stuff like that. And I told him something that he wasn't expecting to probably hear, but and it went over his head. But I literally was like, bro, the reason why you're not making money is because you're a commodity and you're not a brand. And he was like, well, what do you mean by that, bro? Like, what do you mean I'm a commodity and I'm not a brand? I'm like, you're just a person that just sells t-shirts. You're not selling a brand. And I think that 99% of people that will ever watch this video, and you that's watching this right now, you're probably just a commodity and you're not a brand. And basically what a commodity basically is just somebody that has a product or a service and then they're just selling it. But there's no true substance behind the commodity. You know what I mean? But everything is a commodity. But the reason why it's a brand because it has a message. There's a culture, there's a community, there's all these other tangible things that come with that commodity. So for an example, right now I'm wearing some beef and broccoli Timberlands, right? I'm lifting up my whole thing. Obviously, you probably wear Tim's, wheat Tim's, all different type of Timberlands, right? But it's a lot of substance behind Tim's because of hip hop culture and things like that. We look at Nike, you know what I'm saying? Look at the culture behind Nike. It's a sneaker at the end of the day. Jordans, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's a basketball shoe. But there's a culture, there's a community, there's substance behind it. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be the next Jordan brand or the next Timberland or biggest sneaker company or whatever. But when even you look at my brand, Lord knows, at the end of the day, I'm selling sweats just like how you sell sweats. I sell hoodies just like the way that you sell hoodies. But it's everything that I put behind or even in front of that hoodie, which makes it the biggest difference. So with him, he's just selling a shirt. He's just trying to run ads and think that people are going to buy it. With me, I'm thinking of the overall mission. I'm talking directly to my customer avatar through the products, through the designs, through the models that's wearing it. I'm not just going to grab anybody. Everything is done with intention. I don't want to be for everybody. I'm for a very, very, very specific person. Very specific. And you're going to get that. You're going to see that when you look at the Instagram. You're going to see that when you look at the designs that I put out. You're going to feel that when you see the models that I have wearing my brand. You also going to feel that when you see the influencers and the music artists and my homeboys that are big artists and stuff, when they are wearing these products. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to experience it. And now it's that divider where it's just like, is this for me or it's not? But if it is for you, now you're looking at the brand with actual perceived value and not just like, oh, this is a t-shirt. And it kind of goes back to the video that I have on my page. My fault if I'm like scrubbing my eyes and shit because like the lights in here is crazy. But it kind of goes behind my whole entire thing where I'm talking about the best brand. I mean, how I ended up on Grilled. And the only reason why I ended up on Grilled is because I gave value. But the key word is like perceived value. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes into you running a brand, Are you truly bringing value? Are you truly bringing a culture? Are you truly bringing experience? Are you truly bringing that to people? You know what I'm saying? And that's where you can have your t-shirt laid to a Supreme shirt, and 90% of people are going to go run the infamous BOGO Supreme box logo tee. You know what I'm saying? Because it's perceived more valuable than your brand. But they're both commodities. They're both a t-shirt at the end of the day. But Supreme is seen as more valuable than yours, just due to the simple fact that there's so much culture, there's so much substance all behind their brand and not with yours. Now, how do I become, and let me just say this too. This is what's wrong with 99% of brands out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these even YouTube kids that got brands, a lot of people that are trying to give clothing brand advice, are they really a brand or are they just a commodity? Like, go look at their brand. And I don't care if they're making 10,000, 20,000, 50K a month, because you can make something dope, but then that shit can fizzle out as quickly as it went up. But are you truly building something that's going to last a lifetime? Are you truly building something that if you died today, that shit is going up on Grilled because people want to find that shit that came from the 2020 era? You know what I'm saying? Of like, what was that one brand from back in the day? Because it has so much substance with them. I don't think a lot of people can. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is not to shit on them at all when it comes to like the YouTube kids and stuff like that got brands, or like the other YouTube people that are trying to help people out with clothing brands. But when you start looking at other brands, don't look at how much money they make and look at the longevity of it. Like 3 years, 5 years, like how long do you think that this brand will last off of the way that they're going? Yeah, you can sell a dope item, but if there's no substance behind it, if you got a t-shirt with a clown and then you got another t-shirt with an AK-47 and then you got a hoodie down here with a slogan and then you got another t-shirt that says God is good, you all over the place. Like, how can somebody really be connected to what you got going on? You got to be consistent in your message. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see you like the rest of these brands out here that are just like really commodities and not real brands. So I know that you're probably asking right now, well, how do I build out my brand? You know what I'm saying? To actually make it something of substance and something real. Well, first and foremost, it's like you don't want to chase trends because style is forever. You know what I mean? Right now, everybody's doing the whole Y2K, flare pants, the whole ATL, Quan streetwear. Yeah, that's going now, but it's just all like 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 8 years from now, when you, as the Gen Z person, grows up, what's still going to be here? You know what I mean? Like, that's how far out you kind of got to think, and you kind of got to live within, the silhouettes and everything that you putting out. You feel me? Like right now, I got this all over gun hoodie. Some people might be like, oh, this looks like some 2018 or like 2020 streetwear shit, but it's for me and it's for, what I'm saying, my audience. But I know 5, 10, 15 years from now, people's not going to be wearing flare pants and all that goofy shit like they are right now. People are going to be wearing regular silhouettes. You know what I mean? So don't look at everything in the short term. Also, as well, you want to make sure that when it comes to building out a brand, the difference between a person that has a brand versus just like a commodity of a motherfucker that says that they're a brand and they just selling t-shirts is community and culture. When you see a brand that got like real community and culture, and I'm not saying just some testimonials of people like wearing the same fucking silhouette. I'm talking about like people that are die-hearted people that have built friendships just off of your brand, people that sit there and literally will go to the end for your brand. People that are so connected with it, they just like, this brand is me. This brand is speaking to me. This is me forever. Once you get the answers to solve those problems, that's when I feel like, me personally, you can call yourself a brand. Once you got a real story, once you got a real message, once you're trying to be for one specific person and not for everybody. And once you go attract 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 of those people, that's when I know that you want some shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy as fuck that right now, like, I only have 35,000 followers after 10 years of running a brand. You would think that I'll have millions. But obviously my brand is pretty subversive, and I get that. It's like when it comes to religion and guns and politics and stuff, it can get real tricky, right? But that small 30 something thousand people that I got, I would put them over anybody else any day. I see brands out here with 100K, 200K. My troops with only 30 something thousand followers will murder That person's audience. I tell my audience to do one thing today, they're doing it. I tell them a drop is out now. My return customer rate is like 30-40%. 30-40% of return customers. And that's over just years and years and years and years building out a community, building out a culture. I got people within Lord knows community where people have literally came into Discord groups and became friends. Oh, you live in Texas? I live in Texas. Oh, you live in Detroit? I live in Detroit. Oh, you live in Portland, Oregon? I live in Portland, Oregon. And have actually became friends off of a brand. People from France, you know what I'm saying? Germany, Australia, parts of the United States got Lord knows tatted on them. People I never even met before. Kid in California got his whole entire forearm tatted. That's what building out a brand is all about, building out a culture. It's not about who does the most numbers. It's not about who has the biggest vanity metrics. It's about who lasts in this shit. Longevity over everything. And see, people won't tell you this. One, because people don't know, right? Because they don't got the experience of being in this long enough. Or two, they don't want you to know. You know what I'm saying? Because they just want to feed you this little dopamine for you to just spend money on their courses or whatever it may be and then be done with you. But I'm telling you is that you don't want to be a commodity. You want to be a real brand. And the only way that you can be a real brand is having an actual culture and a community behind your shit. You know what I mean? And the byproducts that come with that on Grailed or whatever, people start, valuing your clothes enough to where it becomes like buy, sell, trade value or whatever it may be. That's cool. Those are like fringe benefits. But don't be a commodity like the 99% of brands that you see out here. Like 99% of the brands that you are seeing right now every single day on Instagram will not be here the next 36 months. I can promise you that. I can guarantee you that. You don't want to scale vertically. You always want to scale horizontally. It's almost like a buffer, right? You just want to, it gets bigger and 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 bigger. Now you look and there might be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You might not be where the end vision is at, but look at everybody else that has came and gone within those 5 years because they went like this and then you went like this. You know what I mean? So I know I'm kind of all over the place a little bit with this, but I kind of wanted to like speak on this because I see so many people that, oh, I'm trying to build a clothing brand and I am a clothing brand and why I'm not getting sales. And, I'm building out this streetwear brand and I don't know, people not fucking with it. Oh, people not fucking with it and stuff like that. And the reason why people aren't fucking with it, bro, is because you're a commodity. It has nothing to do with, the message and everything overall. Now, obviously, it comes down to, traffic, offer, product, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's no perceived value of your brand. There's no culture behind your brand. There's no community behind your brand. And you need to ask yourself this. If I was a multi-millionaire, but just buying brands right here, how would you sell me on your brand if I just only went to the Instagram account? Regardless if you have 100 followers or 100 million followers, how would I be sold? Would I be sold by the garments that I'm seeing? Would I be sold by the overall presentation? Would I be sold by the models that's wearing the brand, the message that you're getting across, the community, the engagement, the purchasing intent that's in the comments? Will I be so amazed where I'm like, he has something here, even if you only had 100 followers? Even if people is up in there, I can't wait for the drop. This is fire. I love this and the third. A free Discord community where you actually talking to your audience and building with your audience and really building out a culture that only a person like you can build. And that's how you start to build unfair advantages. What is something that only a person on this earth like you can do? Perfect example. I remember my mom, she called me literally like a few months back and we were talking about even Lord knows. And she was like, only a person like you can make a brand like that. Like you was put on this earth to make a brand like that. I truly believe like the owner of Hellstar was put on this earth to make a brand like that. I wasn't put there to make a brand like that. I was put here to make a brand that I got. My message, you know what I'm saying, from my culture, my community, and creating basically damn near my own religion. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cult almost. And that's how you got to be with your brand. And that's how the perceived value, you know what I'm saying, will start to trump. Oh, that's just like another brand with a shirt. Don't be another brand with a shirt. Like, be a brand that has extremely, extremely high perceived value. And the only way that you can get away with that is having all these little tangible things that I talked about in this video. So with that being said, just remember to divorce from the result, embrace the craft, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.